Welcome back to Breakthrough with Patricia Murugami. Today, my dedication is to business leaders, public sector, non-profit, social impact, anyone who's leading a business, leading a team. My question is, do you know the connection between sleep and the bottom line? There's actually a very strong correlation. And today, I hope you will reconsider your sleep habits. You know, in my coaching practice at Breakthrough, and also in class, and when I'm advising boards, I find that there are some CEOs who are actually very proud to tell me I sleep 4 hours. In fact, there's a Harvard research that out of 180 business leaders across the world, 40% of them actually put up their hand to say that they're sleep deprived, sleeping less than 5 hours every day. And the research has gone on to show us that sleeping few hours is not good for you. It's not good for you on multiple levels, because if you actually go to the boardroom with less than 8 hours of sleep, it's equivalent to going to the boardroom drunk. And you and I both know that that's not the kind of professional we want to be. So instead of you saying, oh, I sleep 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, aim for the 8 hours sleep routine. But how do you achieve that? And why should you do it anyway? Because when you actually are rested, your brain then has the ability to think through challenges in a much more optimal manner than when you're sluggish and dragged off because your brain hasn't rested enough. In fact, the body was made to work hard and to rest well. So why are we in this hyper-connected world constantly trying to keep ourselves on point, on connection, on network, in such a way that ultimately our bottom line and our productivity can only go down? So, shall I encourage you to consider joining me for this 2-week challenge to actually see if you can practice the 3 tips I'm about to share with you on how you can raise yourself from the sleep debt that you currently are in to what is called a sleep asset. The first tip is do a time audit. What is it that's getting in the way of you going to bed on time? If you're supposed to wake up at 5 a.m., for you to get 8 hours of sleep, that means that you should sleep at what time? 9 p.m. So to sleep at 9 p.m., then it means that you must look at all the other things you do right through the day to ensure that you sleep on time. So check, what are your time wasters? Are there addictions? Are there movies that you're constantly watching? Are there activities that are not actually adding to you that you're hooked onto because you find that, you know what, I must do this before I sleep. And when you do it, it takes away all the time that you need to actually prepare to sleep well. Do a time audit. Eradicate time wasters. Take self-control to the next level and tell yourself, I know I want to watch this, I know I want to read this a bit longer, but it's not going to do me any good if tomorrow my brain is not working as hard as it is working today. The second tip is keep away from the screen 1 hour before you sleep. Let me repeat that slowly. You know, for many of us, the phone is like another hand. If you leave your phone at home, you will go back for it. And I guess that's how the world is now. But I think it's important to put a boundary around you and the phone. So let me repeat once more. Keep away from the screen 1 hour before you sleep. And what's the blue light? It's the phone screen, it's the tablet, laptop, it could even be the TV. So if you can choose and commit to say 1 hour before the time I should be sleeping, I will not look at any of these gadgets. What then happens is, because science has shown us that the blue light has an impact on your brain cells. It actually activates them and makes them become more alert. And you shouldn't be trying to get more alert at 9 p.m. at night unless you're an emergency doctor. So, given that you actually are trying to go to bed and to sleep well and to get a well-deserved night's rest, choose to put away that gadget. Sometimes it means, and I remember one time when I was trying to practice this, I actually had to put my gadgets in another room. Some people even leave them in the car so that they resist the temptation to stand out and actually pull out that gadget and look at it in the middle of the night or a few minutes before you sleep. The third thing I encourage you to do is keep away from any drinks 3 hours before you sleep. Whether it's wine, any kind of alcohol, whether it is tea, caffeine, any of these drinks that sometimes are packaged in such a way that they make us think that they are good for us to sleep well. I encourage you, drink them if you need to drink them long before, with moderation, I hope. But also keep away from them 3 hours before you sleep, because you want to go into bed and not have to wake up at night to actually do any kind of bathroom calls. And in so doing, you can actually rest much better. So I urge you, commit to move from a sleep-deprived individual who looks drunk to one who has a sleep asset and who's actually more productive, has a higher well-being in terms of their mental faculties and even their emotional well-being. I look forward to seeing you and your comments around this challenge of taking these 3 tips into practice. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get to part 2 of this particular episode on the power of focus with a sleep asset. Breakthrough with Patricia Murugami.